everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you for being here. Today, as promised, I'm going to be going over all of the responses I got in the form, which I actually got more than I expected, and it makes me so happy that people are willing to share what they're going through. And I think it's very brave for you to share what you're going through, even if it is anonymously. So thank you. I just want to put out a disclaimer. This is going to be a video that's on the longer side because I do want to try to read all of these entries that I got, but I will be putting timestamps in the description. If you're just here to look at one specific entry or your specific entry, I'll be putting in the description all the timestamps with titles for what the entry was about in case you just want to watch the one thing. Again, I am not a licensed psychologist. I'm not here to give professional advice. We're just here to support each other. If you are a member of the community who hears one of these things and can relate to it or has been through it and feel comfortable sharing, it would be so amazing if you could leave your experience down in the comments, if you could provide advice to these people, how you manage to deal with some of these issues, or if you're still dealing with them. If you don't feel comfortable posting that publicly, you can also go back to the form and type out a response to whichever submission that you have a response to, and I can just go over it in next week's video. Okay, so let's just get into it. First one I got here just says marriage in all caps. So that's really funny. I don't really know what to tell you. Whoever this person is, I wish you luck. Whether you are married or in pursuit of marriage, I wish you luck on your journey. I don't really know. There's not really much detail there. So yeah, I feel you. I think marriage is a big issue for a lot of people. So yeah. Okay, my camera just fell. So if this looks different, I'm sorry, that's why. But let's get into the next thing that someone wrote. This person says, one thing that's been weighing down on me are thoughts that relate back to not being able to figure out what direction in life I would like to go towards after I graduate. There's this want to find something that I love to do, something that fuels my passions. My greatest fear is living my life doing something that I don't feel passionate towards. I am nearing the end of my last year of university, but it's still hard to find out what I'm really passionate towards. It's scary to feel this lost at times. I feel you. Wow, this is such a relatable thing. I feel like so many people nowadays are really struggling with this idea of like figuring out what your passion in life is. It's really hard. And I feel like it's even harder these days because we don't have the luxury of taking the time to figure out what our passions in life are. Like, you kind of graduate, you're expected to find a job, become financially independent. You know, the cost of existing in this day and age is very high. So you really, unless you have really rich parents or a trust fund, you don't have the luxury of just sitting around and just trying things out and self-exploring and traveling the world and figuring out what you're into. Like, so I completely get it. There's a lot of pressure on us to know what we want to do. And especially in this day and age with like hustle culture, I feel like it's expected for you to have your entire life figured out by the time you're like 20. And if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. And why? Just why? You're in no rush. And this is something I like to remind myself because I'm in a similar dilemma where at least once a week, I will have an existential crisis. Like, what do I want to do with my life? You're in no rush to figure that out at all. It may feel like it sometimes, again, because, you know, it seems like there's like a ticking time. Like, you need to figure out what you want to do and fast. But I think what you should do right now is focus on school, focus on doing well in school, you know, focus on creating good connections with your professors, very important. And then when you graduate, apply for jobs in your field, apply for jobs in other random places, just kind of go with the flow. And on the side, in your free time, explore those passions. If you already know you have something that you're interested in, spend more time doing that and exploring that. If you don't put pressure on yourself to figure it out. The more pressure you put on yourself to find your passion, the less likely you are going to find it. There are people who don't stumble on their passions until they're in their 40s or 50s. And that's fine. That's just how it's meant to go for some people. So instead of spending all this time stressing out about what your passion is, tell yourself, I'm going to find my passion eventually. Something is going to happen to me in life that makes me realize, wow, this is my passion. This is what I want to be doing forever. And when it clicks, it'll click and it'll just be perfect like that. But you don't need to know that right now. And in fact, I don't think there's a way that you can know what that is right now. You know, you're still in school. You have yet to experience the world. There is a small minority of people who just know what they want to do from when they're 5 years old. And those people are very lucky people. You know, if you're one of those people, you're very lucky. But I don't think that that's the norm for everybody. So, you know, don't feel alone. I'm telling you, most people have no idea what they want to do and are just winging it, truly. So take comfort in that. Take your time. Go with the flow. Work on excelling in the things that you're currently doing. And in your free time, try new things. And again, don't tell yourself it's because you're trying to discover your passion. Like, just have fun. Try new things, you know, pick up a new hobby, and who knows, again, years down the line, you may realize, wow, I want to be doing this thing forever. And it could end up being great. But putting pressure on yourself to find out what your passion is not going to do anything for you. Believe me, from someone who has spent the past 4 years trying to figure out what my passion is, I still haven't found it, and that's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. You're gonna find it eventually. Hopefully we all will. Okay, next one. This person says, I'm trying to balance my mental health as a genuine medical issue and treating it like a spiritual one too. Like figuring out which one to focus on and feeling guilty that maybe my iman means faith, that maybe my iman isn't strong enough to overpower my struggles. Ooh, I'm really glad, whoever you are, that you wrote this in. I think this is a very important issue that a lot of people struggle with that doesn't really have a one-size-fits-all answer. I definitely think if you're a spiritual person and if spirituality is important to you, then you can't ignore the effects that mental health has on your spirituality and vice versa. The two are very, very connected. And while spirituality is in no way enough on its own to help treat a mental illness or a mental health issue, I do think it is still very important. I don't think that you need to be feeling guilty at all about having, you know, weak faith in a certain moment of your life. I don't believe in this argument that you dealing with a mental health struggle means that you ought inherently just have a low level of faith. I don't believe in that. But I do think that working on supplementing your spiritual practices can help increase your faith, strengthen your faith in general. Not saying that your faith has been weakened by your mental illness, but just in general, working on strengthening that faith can be very helpful, I personally think. To alleviate some of the pain that comes along with having a mental illness or a mental health issue. Obviously, again, in addition to actual treatments that a licensed professional would recommend, because you can't replace those things. But yeah, I don't think it's a question of which one you should be focusing on. I think it's a matter of figuring out which ones you kind of are lacking in. And which ones, depending on your personality, because that's also very important, and depending on your needs, which one you think is going to help you more in that moment. Because sometimes spirituality isn't going to help, and sometimes, you know, you really do just need to pray, and it's not necessarily that going to therapy is going to help. It all depends on your particular situation and your particular need and feeling in that moment. You know yourself best. But yeah, don't feel guilty. You're a human being. Your faith isn't always going to be strong enough to overcome anything. It doesn't mean you're a bad Muslim. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're going through something. You're going through a hard time, and you're going to get through it. because you're being proactive and thinking about how to address this issue from a medical and spiritual standpoint. So yeah, I wish you all the best on that journey, and keep us updated on how it all goes. This next person says, this one made me sad. This person says, I feel extremely alone nowadays. I have been dealing with being ghosted by someone I wish nothing but the best for the last few months, and I have been slowly recovering. However, courses just started and I am taking a course with the person that ghosted me. When I see this person's face, I just start crying internally. Right after class, I just started crying. Bearing in mind that I have anxiety issues and struggles with attachment, I have all this trauma coming back to me of my past and recent events, and I don't know how to cope. I want to continue developing myself and taking care of myself and growing, but it is so difficult right now. Any advice to just remain calm and get through this? First of all, why does anyone ghost anyone? Like, I'm never gonna get that. That is mean. That is so mean. Like, it takes 2 seconds to just text someone and be like, hey, for this and this reason, I don't think we should be speaking anymore. Or I don't want to be speaking to you anymore. Or whatever the case is. But like, give the person some closure. To just like, peace out. Ugh. Basically, to whoever wrote this message, I would say you dodged a bullet with this one, because why would you want someone that respects you so little that they would ghost you and just leave you feeling this way and not care? But no, on a real note, I wish I knew what to say. I've never been ghosted before. This is really tough. I mean, having to let go of any person is always very tough. I'm not sure if this situation is regarding a relationship or a friendship. I kind of assumed in the beginning it was about a relationship just because they said ghosted, but friends can ghost you too, I guess. So it could be about a friend. I don't know the exact detail. But listen, here's the tea, okay? Whatever it is that this person brought to your life that you really valued and appreciated, you're gonna find someone that has all of that, but also has the respect for you to not ghost you and to not make you feel bad and to not, make you cry. Like, and that, I just feel like that's basic decency. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if the person who wrote this did something to that person and that's why they ghost. I don't know. But I know it hurts. Losing someone always hurts. Having to let go of someone always hurts. Having to move on from someone always hurts. Keep remembering, you're gonna find somebody who has all the qualities you loved in that person, but who also has even more qualities that you're gonna love, and who treats you better, and who you love even more, and who your relationship with overall is just gonna be a much more positive experience. And it can be really hard to believe that in the moment when you're feeling such great loss, but it's the truth, and it's what always happens after loss like this. You mentioned too that you have anxiety issues and attachment issues. That obviously can aggravate the situation and make it worse. I'm someone that struggles with that too, so I feel you. I think that is something to work on. Most people don't actually realize that they have unhealthy attachment styles. And it's a really good thing that you recognize that you're aware that you don't have a healthy attachment style. I would say work on that, because that will help you in the future to kind of have less of this like emotional latching on to another person that makes it very unbearable if you lose them for some reason or they leave. I would say work on that, whether in therapy, counseling, in the support group, talking to a good friend, whatever the case may be. I would also say surround yourself with people that can distract you, with a good support system that you can vent to, that you can have fun with, that you can, use to take your mind off this person. That's definitely so important in getting over a person is just surrounding yourself with better people. And other than that, it's just, it sucks to say, but it's just really time that's going to help you move on from that person and really understand that what happened for the best. Yeah, again, I just always have faith and be optimistic and look forward to the fact that everything that you loved about this friendship, relationship, whatever it was, you're gonna find again, but better. That's what you need to always remind yourself, and that's what's gonna get you through this time. It's just, this isn't a permanent loss. Whatever it is that I had with this person, I'm gonna have again, but better, okay? You're gonna have it, and it's gonna be even better, and it's gonna make you even happier, and you're not gonna be crying, and you're not gonna lose the person, and you're not gonna be ghosted by them or anything. So yeah, that's, I think, something to remind yourself of. But yeah, any advice to just remain calm? I don't know if it's possible to remain calm when you're feeling that sad. And it's okay not to be calm, honestly. When you're grieving, let yourself grieve. Let yourself cry. It's not a bad thing to cry. The fact that you have to see them in this course every day is really rough. I don't know if it's like, because I think all classes are virtual right now, so I'm not sure if it's just like on the screen you can see them, or what, or just knowing that they're in the same class is causing this much pain. I personally would say, if this is not a mandatory class or a class that you really want to take or need to take, I would say, like, drop it. If it was me, I would drop it. Like, I feel like any reminders of that person in this moment is just gonna make the situation worse. If you absolutely cannot drop it, I feel like, I mean, that just really sucks. I don't know what to say, except that you're strong enough to get through it. Use all of your willpower and strength to just focus on that lecture and forget that they're there, and, you know, be all great about participating in class and be the excellent, amazing student that you are, and just ignore them. Ignore that they're there, pretend that they don't exist. Like, it's just anything you need to do until you get over that bump. And then once you're over that bump, you're never going to look back, believe me. So it's going to be okay. You are going to be okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, though. I think a lot of people probably can relate. So my phone died in the middle of me speaking and trying to get through that last entry, and it is currently at 1%. And so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to read this one this week. I'll save it for next week's video. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, to everyone who wrote in, thank you so much for sharing what's on your chest, being so brave. I know it's really hard right now, and I know it can feel impossible at times to get through the things that are plaguing us, but you have it in you to get through whatever you need to get through. And you're going to be okay, and you're going to come out of it great. And in a few years, you're going to look back at this really hard time in your life, and you're going to be amazed at how much you persevered and how you pushed through it, and how it, you know, you learned so much from it, and it made you a better person. So be kind to yourself, be compassionate with yourself, and remember, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I, for one, am very proud of you, regardless of what it is that you are going through. And to every single person who wrote in today, I am proud of you, and you are doing amazing. And yeah, the form is going to be up still in the description of this video. So anytime this next week, if you have anything that you're feeling, please just feel free to put it in the form, and we'll go through it together next week. Again, anybody in the community, if you have any thoughts or feelings or experiences you want to share, please share them in the comments below. I would love for this to be a way for all of us to just connect with each other and help each other and support each other. So yeah, I hope that you guys have a great day, and I hope that something makes you smile today. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.